Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Dana, and with Anna and Veronica, we will be presenting our topic, developing writing skills through task-based approach. So our presentation will focus on developing a writing skill through a task-based approach to a class of adults A2 level. But first we will address what task-based approach is and we will define it. The task-based learning is an alternative approach to communicative language teaching where teaching is done entirely through communicative tasks. The task-based learning approach was developed in the 1980s, but since then it has increased its popularity throughout the world. This approach provided a new and more interactive way of teaching. It was new, innovative, and it was supposed to help students improve their learning process through the completion of tasks. This way, students experience the learning process as an active acquisition of the language instead of repeating target language structures through drilling or practice. So Noonan said that tasks are activities that can stand alone by themselves, and they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they also have a purpose on themselves. So according to this, the task-based learning approach focuses on meaning rather than grammatical form, providing students with activities to promote their interaction, and turning the target language into a tool that they need in order to achieve a specific goal. This task must be engaging, so we can say that this approach puts a big emphasis on students' needs and motivation, creating a truly student-centered classroom. Task must be authentic, straight out of the real-world situation, of pedagogical tasks inspired in real-world situations. This is to give the student the sense of the real purpose for what they are trying to achieve. Planning a class night out or booking tickets for a play can be examples of the kinds of activities that we can actually find in a task-based learning class. So as I was saying, the task-based learning focuses mostly on achieving task goals. And in order to do this effectively, students need to develop and integrate all the 4 skills: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. But let's take a look now specifically at writing. We can say that in today's world, with all the online and instant communication, writing is essential to any learner. Moreover, if we consider the learning acquisition process, in ESL instruction, writing is usually a part of any tasks. From taking notes during a brainstorm to writing down reflections on what students have learned. Writing is a basic skill that needs to be promoted in an ESL classroom because it shapes the way we think and learn in all fields of knowledge. It is also the key to creating meaning, making our thoughts visible and giving us a chance to organize and shape the way we understand the world. This is valid for teaching writing under any circumstances. But in our modern society, as I said before, where online communication is taking a really important place as a dominant way of communicating and expressing ourselves, writing becomes even more essential. So how can we best develop writing skills in an ESL classroom? How can we reach out to our students and motivate them to learn and improve this skill? Is a task-based learning approach effective when developing writing skills? And if we consider our specific topic, how can we apply a task-based learning approach to develop writing skills in an adult class? These are the questions we will aim to answer during this presentation. So let's start with Veronica and the characteristics of A2 adult learners.
Thank you, Dana, and hello, everybody. Teachers we can find ourselves in a range of different types of classrooms, from young adults with an advanced level of English to an A2 level class where your student's age may vary so much that, for instance, our youngest students can be 18 years old and the oldest one 50. This is why we need to be flexible to suit the type of learners that we are facing. There will be different challenges and rewards when approaching a specific audience. Younger learners have very different reasons for writing than adults do. So, in order to engage them writing skills development process, we must carefully get to know our students and cater to their motivations and needs. The adult learner reasons for wanting to write could go from wanting to succeed in a specific academic studies or in a business context to exchanging opinions in social media, for example. Motivations vary widely, but they tend to be intrinsic, which generally means that adults learn voluntarily. This is very convenient for a task-based approach learning approach because we can appeal to those personal motivations to turn our writing tasks into meaningful learning situations. Additionally, adults tend to be more result-oriented than younger learners, which goes hand in hand with another one of the task-based learning key principles: performing a task for achieving a specific goal to give students a sense of accomplishment. They are also more inclined to discussing topics that are relevant to them and sharing personal experience, since they have more than younger students. TBL can address this by promoting debating instances and group interactions, such as sharing their writing productions with other students, or even writing or editing collaboratively. Adult learners also can be very busy scheduled outside the classroom, but we can take advantage of different study techniques that they have acquired in their previous learning experiences, or include technologies such as online platforms to encourage their interaction at their own pace and availability. As Dana mentioned before, in the communicative classroom, students are encouraged to take an active role, but it's extremely important to take into consideration their level characteristics to plan accordingly. A2 level is one of the levels that are described by the Council of Europe as basic wastage, where the students are able to understand the basic general idea. However, difficulties are shown. The A2 student can communicate in social situations, being able to read and write simple tests, and to maintain specific and basic conversations about simple and familiar topics like family, personal experience, and past activities. Also, they are able to use simple, everyday polite forms of greetings to ask and answer questions about their jobs, free times, and hobbies. They can make simple transactions at different places and arrange meetings. About specific writing productions, the A2 level can write short notes and descriptions using simple phrases and sentences. For example, they are able to write a letter thanking someone or telling someone matters of their everyday life or routine, or they can put down in words a descriptions about a specific plan. They are familiar with simple connectors like and, but, or because when linking ideas or opinions. Some of the task-based learning plans include such as individual or collaborative story completion, writing reviews on books, movies, or other things that are relevant to the students. Writing emails or application letters, for example. Some of them can be more communicative than others. And of course, not all of them are possible for all levels of proficiency. That's the reason why we must always consider the characteristics of our students before planning a class. As for our presentation today, we thought of an interesting writing activity that Anna will tell you about.
Okay, hello, my name is Anna and I'm going to be presenting you the activity we thought for an A2 level group of adults following the task-based learning approach principles. Before we thought of the activity, we considered that we should set an age range for our students. So we thought we were working with a class from 20 to 35-year-old students. And we thought that the topic tourism in your city would be engaging to them because by that age, people have usually been around town and they know places. So that would make them want to give their opinion and relate to their own personal experience. That would make it engaging and meaningful to them. And that would encourage them to use new language to express those opinions and, well, what they know about those places. So for the warm-up, we thought that we would show them pictures of different local places, different local attractions, and get them talking about them. Maybe do a little brainstorm about vocabulary or even starting to write down on the board important vocabulary that they mention or grammar forms that are important to express these kind of thoughts. And then as a pre-writing activity, we would reveal them the sources of those pictures, which would be travel blogs, such as TripAdvisor, for example. And we would read the descriptions and comment those descriptions, starting a discussion, maybe through some questions too, such as, have you ever been there? Did you like it or not? Would you recommend it to someone else, etc. This way, with the warm-up and the pre-writing activity, we would be activating their previous knowledge, vocabulary, and grammar structures that are useful for the activity, and we would get them interested on the topic. As a while writing activity, we thought that students could work in groups and come up with a description of their own of a place of their choosing. It could be one of the places we worked with through the lesson so far, or even another one that they like or they know about and want to describe it. So while writing, they will have to pay attention to the vocabulary they use, to the way they build the sentences, to how to construct that short paragraph, what tone to use, what format. And that would be an interesting way to put their writing skills to work, and by that, helping to develop them. Once they are done, once they have corrected their descriptions and every group is happy with theirs, we would have sharing instance, a whole class sharing instance where students would show the other students the descriptions they made. And then as a final step of the post-writing activity, we would like them to have their descriptions posted on a classroom blog. If we don't have one, we can create one for the occasion, but it's very common for English teachers to have classroom blogs because it's a very interesting way of interacting even outside of the classroom. So we would probably already have one by then, but if not, we can create one for that purpose. We think that this is an activity that follows the task-based learning approach principles because it doesn't only let students learn vocabulary and grammar structures and repeat them, but it makes them use those knowledges they have to achieve a goal, to produce something, something that is visible to them. In this case, the description and even the possibility of posting it online. That makes it even more real because it's out there for everyone to see. And also being able to post it online and working with real world materials will make them feel even more accomplished, but because it's not that they are just being able to repeat certain words in a certain order in the correct order, but they are able to use those words in the correct order to explain something to other people, to show other people places they know and they want to describe. Um, Finally, what's left to say is that we really feel that this approach, the task based learning approach, is not just a very versatile and useful approach for teaching adult students, but the best way we can think of um, to teach adult students, because we feel that TBL and the characteristic of adult students are complementary in a unique way. Adult students are results oriented, and the task based learning approach aims to come up with a product. So this makes it very compatible. And we are very happy that we got to do this presentation on this subject, because we are now more convinced than ever that this is the way to go to teach adult students. So thank you very much for the opportunity to do this research and this presentation, and we hope you liked it. And that's everything. Thank you.